So somehow I keep finding myself in these little debates, Harry Potter debates. So going forward. This isn't about politics. This isn't about religion or any of that shit. This is about a book and a movie. Keep finding myself in these little debates, and not that I go looking for them, but generally about Harry Potter characters, right? Some of them will be like plot holes and shit, things that are funny, memes and whatnot. And it's probably because of the algorithm that they push out. Like maybe just recording this is probably gonna have me be flooded with more shit that has something to do with Harry Potter, just because, right? But I always find it fascinating how many people actually just sweep under the rug Snape and his actions. Now, granted, those are probably people who didn't actually read the books and only ever saw the movies. And Alan Rickman was an excellent actor. I mean, what can we say? He did a for what the producers asked him to do. He did a good job. But did he portray the Snape that we read in the books? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And so I have to wonder, like, for the women who sit back and they're like, "Oh, buddy, he was such a deep character, so he was a good guy. He had his redemption." Did he? Did he? Like, okay, it's a wizarding world, but there's relations we can make to the real world, right? For instance, mudblood, person of uh, oppressed background, right? Minority versus pureblood, maybe the oppressor. Snake. Let's say you have this childhood friend. You're a woman. You have this childhood friend, and y'all grew up and y'all get along for the most part. Your sister don't really care for him too much, but you two for the most part get along. And then y'all go to school. And while you're in school, you end up in different groups of friends. And his group of friend, for whatever reason, has a particular dislike for people like you. Not a lifestyle choice, not the music you listen to, not the sports you play, but because of your background, because of your heritage. We know that to be racism or prejudice, right? And there's even slurs to accommodate such intolerance. And one day, one of your buddies and one of your new classmates and your old now racist buddy, they're getting into it. They're having a tussle. Now the movie portrayed that to make it seem as though James had went out of his way to mess with Snape. But if you read the book, it was Snape who was following James and his friends around. And you have to sit back and wonder, well, why are you just stalking these guys? What's your problem? That's kind of weird. And then a scuffle comes. Either way, at the end of it all, after your friends done duked it out, you try to separate them, you try to calm it down, and then defend your old childhood friend. And he calls you that racist slur and says, "I don't need your help." Okay, pretty fucked up, right? Now, fast forward. You're now an adult. You married this man, y'all have a baby, y'all settling down. Y'all started a family, y'all have a house, and you're doing good for yourself so far. So far, the family's still young, but there's hope there. And your old buddy from childhood, well, he not only those that group of friends that he was hanging out with back in high school, they turned into a whole fucking league of people who just go out of their way to harass and off people of your type, your ethnicity, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Death Eaters. This is what they're called. And he comes across information and gives that information to his leader, which makes his leader target you and your family. Now, he's not worried about your son. He's not worried about the baby that you just had. He just wants you to live. As long as you make it, he's okay with that. He's not considering how distraught you might be to be the lone survivor while staring at your dead husband and child. He just cares that you survive. And then when he comes across the remains, the aftermath of it, he doesn't look over and at James and think, "Oh my God," and ignores the screaming, crying baby in the background. He just wants to hug your dead body. Never mind that screaming child who just lost his mother. Yeah. Now, fast forward 11 years, and your son is now going to school, and that same old buddy of yours is teaching at that school. Now, your son has no idea about your history with this man, has zero clue, doesn't even know who the hell he is, for that matter. And for whatever reason, this man is being wicked and cruel to your boy. Now the Dark Lord is gone. His leader and his gang, they long gone. So there's no one to save face for at this moment. There's no charade to put on at this moment. At this moment, it's just him face value being a dick to your child. You're long gone. You're dead. Do you think that shows that how much he cares about you? The first thing he see, everyone else in the movie says he looks just like James, except for the eyes. It took Snape the end of the fucking movie to realize those are his crush's eyes. That he could just look into those eyes and just be wicked to them the whole time. Not only that, but then Neville. People forget about Neville. Some people have pointed out that that Snape was his his biggest fear, not the dragons, not the Dementors, not the woman who tortured Neville's parents, Snape. And people don't realize why Snape is his biggest fear, because Neville would have been the other chosen boy had his parents been picked. You don't think that maybe Snape had a resentment towards Neville because Voldemort picked the Longbottoms instead of the Potters? And that's why he's tortured not just one boy, but two boys in particular, targeting them and being wicked to them because he holds resentment towards the both of them for shit that their parents did. Yes, this is a very deep character, sure. Not just some man child who's just apparently was bullied as a child and now takes his frustration out on children by being the bully as an adult. We're supposed to believe in the very end of it all, when Dumbledore forced you to work for him, when Dumbledore forced you to teach Harry Occlumens, and you never passed that, when Dumbledore pretty much forced your hand to everything. You didn't join it with Dumbledore's team because you wanted to do the honorable thing. You did it. He did it because he feared Dumbledore. A snake just, slithered into warmer climates. Yeah, that's my stance on it. I always thought it was very weird. You know, even as a child. I mean, I think every kid who probably seen the movie firsthand, because I'm not gonna lie, before I ever read the book, I saw the movie as a child, and even then I'm like, I don't like this teacher. Like I wasn't the rowdy, obnoxious child who just made a fuss in class, but if teacher spoke to me the wrong way as a child, why are you talking to me like that? I have parents. Unfortunately, Harry didn't have parents, and the Dursleys just would not have given a shit how he was being treated. If anything, they probably would have championed Snape for being so mean to Harry. He would have been their favorite teachers just because. Maybe, well, no, except for Petunia, because she probably, if she knew, yeah, she knows who Snape is. She probably would thought, nah, you probably have something to do with my sister dying, you little fuck. Anyways, but yeah, that's there's a couple of other things that kind of stood out, but I never I don't know, the Levicorpus spell that James used on Snape apparently was Snape's spell. I mean, does James or Harry or are any of them known for creating their own version of a forbidden curse? If I'm not mistaken, Sectum Sempra, although it didn't go down as one of the three forbidden curses, it might as well have been. I mean, from the description, he put sword slashes across Malfoy's body and face and chest and all that. Like, it would have, if not for Snape coming to the rescue because he knew the spell because he made it, Malfoy would have died. Not only that, but he left that book with all those random spells and whatnot in his cupboard, where any child could have taken it. It just is just by plot coincidence that Harry came across it, and not another student before him. Yeah, that's. I think I'm gonna cut it for now. I think I made my point. I'm not a Snape fan. Never been a Snape fan. I couldn't stand Snape, but when he died, I was like, ah, took you long enough. Yeah, have a good one. Harry Potter fans out.